Yo, what is up YouTube? Cruiser here, aka Mandark, back with another Russian Cash 200 video. Haven't been recording in ages. No real reason why, to be honest. Maybe I just didn't feel like it, and then when I heard about the YouTube news about they're blocking the poker content from a lot of the creators, then I didn't even bother trying, to be honest. So I have no clue, is this video going to be deleted or not, but I can only say that this is only educational content. This is not promoting any sorts of gambling. So play responsibly, I guess. I don't know what to say. Anyways, let's go back to the video. BVB, I'm going to be playing either range check or range bet, depending on the board. Not going to do any mixes. And this board is good enough for range bet. You could also play, like, if you want to play mixes, you could play big bet or check here to leverage your like ace jack, ace queen, ace king advantage, but whatever. Folding here. I do block some of the auto fold, like king queen, that will never stab the turn, or king 10. I'm not gonna deviate against the reg. Like, I'm not gonna deviate against the reg. Although it might be overfolded because he's supposed to call jack X, pretty sure, versus a block here. Nah, BVB against the reg, like, he'll probably understand that, so there's no point in bluffing, to be honest. Like, there's some queen 8 with a heart, king 8 with a heart as well. Yeah. Green is a green label is a decent reg, so I'm not gonna be deviating too much against those types. Okay, just folding there. Mixing 3-bet here against the reg. Otherwise, I will be using a really linear range in this pool because people overcall and they under 4-bet. Range check here. I think jack 10 would be the threshold here. I'm gonna be folding jack 9. Against the unknown. Just gonna be calling, see what he does. Could develop some leads here, but I think going for a river bet is better. Because now, once he checks now, he never has deuces, 4s, and 7s. But if I lead, he might slow play some of them. So, like, our hand is always good here. I'm just going to be potting it. He has to call low pocket pairs here. I do block the folding range, but I think I'm going to be getting the required fold equity here. My bluffs would be, like, offsuit diamonds, pretty much. Yeah, there we go. Opening here. 4-3. I'm gonna open the cutoff. We have a tight guy on the button, so we can pretty much expand our cutoff range. Could open like 40% probably from the cutoff in that spot, 35 at least. Okay, against the reg here, ajax suited. Gonna go for a call. Here against 2x, I'm gonna be calling wider. It's probably a fold against 2x, but I'm gonna be calling wider because I saw in my database that with all these marginal hands, I'm doing way better than losing minus 100 BB, which I would have lost if I just folded. So I expanded my big blind calling range. Not doing any leading on low flushes. Like let's say if the board was a high flush or the ace of spades just came on the turn, I would do way more leading because now I have more flushes than the UTG. UTG is the one who's gonna be having a flush advantage. Here I'm gonna be limping against recreational with my whole range because they have auto fold on, so we just take the pot. Here I'm just gonna be blocking, to be honest. When I block too high spades, if I had something like ace 8, ace 7, I would go for a bigger bet. We have two unknowns in a blind, so I'm going to be opening always this one. King 6. But yeah, the small blind limp strategy is really powerful on GG. Again, all you have to do is try using it a bit, gather some, I mean, you can never get a good sample for this, but gather some sample, see how much you're losing. If you're doing better than winning, if you're doing better than losing more, less than 50 BB per 100, which you would have lost if you just folded, then start limping all those trashy hands. That's how I do it anyways. We could have developed some leads here. We're gonna have a nut advantage. He shouldn't be opening 5-6 full frequency, and we're gonna have all the. Actually, this is really like good hand to bet 3-bet. I'm gonna go for it maybe. The people don't really. I just wanted to say the people don't really raise enough IP with like overpairs and stuff. So their raising range is way more polar, I would say. But even against that range, I think I'm going to be using my hand as a 3-bet, like I said. I would be under 3-betting this spot. Let's say I had like a naked 5 or something. That's probably part of the equilibrium 3-bet strategy. I would never do that because it's too low equity. 19 VPIP. Yeah, you see here. Like they're so equity driven when they raise IP on these boards. They're never going to raise overpair. That's why leading is so good. But once they do, like you overfold and you don't 3-bet as much. But we had a combo draw, so. I mean, it's not like we're going to get any more money by just calling. We're just going to have to fold any turn that's not a heart, to be honest. So if there's any slight chance that he might have pocket tens raising for protection, then raising is better. But they're never going to raise like naked offsuit with hearts. That's a fact. Folding here. We have a recreational in the big blind. Unknown opened. Small blind tighter. Gonna develop some flats here. Opening here against the recreational in the small blind. We have to call some of these low pocket low pocket pairs on these high boards some of the time, but I'm only gonna do it with when I have when I don't have a spade. So like when the runout comes flush and I hit my set, it's worth more. It has more equity, right? It's not losing against his flushes and stuff. That's all. That's like a small heuristic you can take. Here we could also lead with our range because we're going to have Jack 10 off advantage. We're going to have 8-7, 9-7 that he won't open. A lot of people miss leads on these boards because they think they're not that good, but they're pretty much slightly worse than like 6-5-4. I'm not going to be leading ace queen though. Doesn't make sense. I think I want to lead ace 10, ace jack, so he can maybe fold his ace queen. He checked back pretty fast. Let's start attacking this pot. We have a gut shot. We can bluff hearts. Can't be too bad of a bet. 20 VPIP opening UTG. Gonna be using blocker hand. It's only like King X suited and Ace X suited. If I had something like Jack 10 suited or pocket pairs, I would always call. I would never 3-bet those hands against a tight opener. I still want to play those hands because I'm in position, but I wouldn't 3-bet them. Okay, it's going to start with the small c-bet here, betting high frequency. Not really that connected board. If it was king 8-4, I would do some more checking, but like 3 and 8 has too big of a gap. Doesn't have that many 2 pairs offsuit, like king 8 off. Actually, I opened 2x, so he does have king 8 off. I'm just going to be checking here, I think. Opening here with a recreational in the big blind and checking here. Yeah, well, I was about to say, on the turn is kind of like better for us. We're going to improve to some gut shots and stuff, so we can bet even those hands, like third pair with a flush draw, but you always have to ask yourself, what does my bet accomplish? Right? Yes, in that spot I fold out. He's probably has to call high 8x, but people might fold them because they're third pair, absolute hand strength. So we accomplish that. But other than that, we just isolate ourselves against king x, and we just fold low pairs that we're gonna get money from in a bet check bet line on the river anyways. So if I had a really low 8, like I say I opened 8-6 suited, that would be better bet than higher 8s. Range C betting here. When there's a low board, Broadway board, and then a low board, it's like really dry. Similar spot here, like we have third pair now, but actually I'm gonna go for it this time. This time I'm gonna go for it. Because I expect people to fold, like I said, I expect people to fold second pairs. And I block the most obvious second pair that will call, which is ace 10, right? And I might get called by ace 6, ace jack with a gut shot. I mean, it's player dependent. Some people might fold, some people might not, I would say they fold more than they should. They don't understand the thresholds. After they call a small flop c-bet, they have to call third pairs on the turn, even against overbet. If they don't, they're just overfolding. Using small bet here. We're going to be B40 here. He's playing a polar strategy on this board. He went check on the flop. So he's going to have some king x. He's going to have some 9s, 10s. Ace deuce is probably worth even more in that line in practice, because I don't expect people to check ace twice like they should. So he has like king x or low pair most of the time. But it is a flush board. Like, they're not going to call me as much, so that's why I went to B40. Okay, starting with range B40 here. We can't really go range on these middling connected boards, but he has to raise 7s, he has to raise 8s, he has to raise 9s, he has to raise some backdoors. Would people do that in this pool? Like, 100% not. So that's why we can go for a B40 on the flop with range. Gonna be calling here. This is a spot where I was talking about that I expanded my big blind calling range. However, it's way better to expand it on a cutoff and button instead of UTG, because UTG range is going to be naturally more stronger. However, you can still expand your range, but you don't call these hands. You call stuff like 6-4 off, you call 7-5 off, right? So you want low cards, because with these high cards, every time when you hit a top pair, you're going to be dominated, So if you want to expand your range, you use it with a lower region. Nothing we can do here. 7-8, 7-8 can do something. 7-8 can do something, pretty sure. But 9-8, no. 7-8 has like better backdoors. It can turn open-enders. I mean, offsuit versions are probably folding, both of them, but as I was talking about the suited ones. Okay, this guy is opening pretty tight from the UTG, so I'm gonna miss this. I'm gonna skip this spot to 3-bet. We could develop some flats there, but I saw there was a reg in the button, so he's probably gonna squeeze like decent frequency. Range C betting here. Yeah. Like I said, small blind limp strat is really good. Again here, like Asian guy in the small blind. There's higher chances that he's gonna have auto fold on. So we wanna limp our whole folding range, we wanna limp, right? And now we just have small. This hand is really good as a bet, like has so much backdoors. Here we have a gonna be calling here. Gonna be calling this one. Would usually play 4-bet or fold, but it is UTG versus hijack after all. So his range might be naturally tighter. So I'm just gonna proceed with caution. I'll probably have to call this turn in theory with a few bets, but I'm not gonna do it just because of a tighter range, right? Wow, these odds are really good. These odds are really good, but I'm not gonna do it. Checking here. Can play overbet or check here. Gonna go for it. Here we're gonna go for B40 and then we're gonna bluff the river, depending on his timing. Three betting ace king. We can also flat versus UTG. Okay, these guys have a reg, right? So don't want to deviate that much. With a club, we can bet. He snap called, so we're gonna be only playing shoves on this turn or check with our range, I believe. Even like even one SPR deep, but ace king go, ace king go. I was thinking about what combos of ace king we want to jam here, and probably ace king of hearts and spades, to be honest, are the only ones, because we want to get called by worse ace x flush draws, and we deny equity. This one's just going to be played as a bet give up, I believe. Yeah, this is why I wanted to flat pre-flop, because these players are really, really tight, like when they open UTG. And ace king off is like a drawing hand, like people like to say. I'm actually winning way more when I flat from small blind than when I'm 3-betting against early, because people's ranges are so strong. We're not gonna be calling against 2.5x, And here against the snap call on the flop, 5-6, never has 5-6, but he should have like a lot of 10x, 7x. Gonna be giving up, to be honest. Because he snap called a big bet on the flop means he's not strong, like he doesn't have nuts, but he has like 10x a lot. So against that range. And we also block some of the potential folds like hearts or king queen off and stuff like that. Basically the heuristic is every time when you bet hearts or backdoor hearts on the flop for big size, you never barrel them on the turn because you block the folding range. You barrel the other combos instead. We're gonna be flatting here against 2x. Gonna be better than 3-betting. Here we get squeezed. Yeah, this guy's 32 VPIP. I should have seen that. Then 3-betting is better than flatting. We want to flat more when there's like a more passive big blind. People are generally going to be under 3-betting the big blind, so I'm going to be folding this one. It looks tight, but I think it's the best play. We fold suited ace-x. We only call ace-10 suited in that spot. Overcalling here a bit. Expanding my range, even against 2.2x. The 6-4 off. Don't think we want to do anything here. Like 5-4, 4-3. Those are the hands we're going to be raising. This one is just too weak. Unknown big blind, so we're going to be using a bigger open sizing. Again, range bet or range check board. I'm going to go for a range bet. Take it down. Cassiopeia. That's a champion from League of Legends. 2.2x against UTG. Fold. This guy opens 6%. Don't really know his true stats. That one might be close. Queen 4 borderline against the reg. 2x always call, 2.5x we fold. Going to be raising here. We have a backdoor straight draw as well, so gonna be raising it a lot. Snap call. Can we fold a king by the river from this guy? Went for a check because of the snap call. So might have pocket pairs here. I don't want them to fold. Like, let's say there's a 9 of clubs on the river. And I'm gonna be overbetting now, I think. Let's say there's a 9 of clubs on the river. Like sometimes we win a like a bigger pot when we hit a flush versus his set. Don't have time bank. I wanted to go B 125 instead of B 150. Or GG only have 4 betting options, so it's a pain sometimes. Because I like to play with more. So I have to like manually use my brain to calculate stuff. Mixing here against UTG. People are going to be over c-betting the spots. They shouldn't c-bet on 10 high boards. But I can't really raise ace deuce off. Like, what do I accomplish? I get called by every ace. I think this is like fold, even though it looks like you have a showdown on this board. But I think calling queen jack, calling king jack, calling stuff like that is way better than calling ace deuce off. I don't have anything going with my ace deuce off to call turns, right? Yes, it has more showdown, but I don't have anything to do on the turns. Now this will for sure like be overbluffed, bet check bet. Is the soft on overcard, but again like jack, like ace queen, ace king. Or maybe not, like he's supposed to bet a lot on overcard anyways. I'm gonna bet here. I wanted to check because he's gonna have like ace 10. Now on bomb pot, I don't think he's gonna have ace 10, ace jack. People usually jam those hands. But what is he gonna have then? Like probably suited broadways, and I dominate those. So I could have checked there instead. I think checking would be the better play. But I saw so much equity I have, like I have to build a pot, so I went for a bet. But checking would definitely be better there. King 8 off, mix, deuce is gonna be folding on reg table. Okay, this is the spot now. What I said that I like to either range check or range bet on small blind spots, and this is a spot where I'm gonna range check because big blind is gonna have a 5x advantage, right? He's gonna have 5-4 off, 6-5 off, which I won't be opening. And this hand will play itself. You just want to try to reach the showdown with king highs on ace high board. That's the standard against the reg, right? If I think guy will maybe overfold a queen or something, I could start betting, but that will be kind of going to extremes in a blind versus blind spot with king high. Yeah, you see. We chop it up. King 8 against a Asian guy. Probably never 3-betting, only calling. Gonna be using a linear range because they overcall. They call stuff like 6-5, 7-6, pocket sixes, pocket 5, spear. So when we 3-bet stuff like this, we suffer from yeah, we can't really play. We can't really play a lot of flops because we don't have a. We have like offsuit 1 overcard, you know. What do I want to do on this turn? So do I want to bet a 6? Probably not. So I'm gonna be checking. Maybe I could bet a 6, like strong 6 on the turn. Because he has to call, like the ranges are wide BBB, he has to call a lot of the ace highs still, even on spade draws. So if I want to bet a 6, I probably want to use a smaller size, like B40. But if he range checks that's a pot like you should, then I want to use bigger sizings because he has his full range, right? So he's still going to have pocket aces, he's going to have pocket kings, queens. And then I only want to bet a straights plus or 2-pair plus. Three Asian friends, I'm going to be expanding cutoff opening range. Here I'm going to be folding in a sandwich with a short stacker behind. Don't think I'm going to 4-bet. This guy's range against UTG should be tight, and it should be polar because he doesn't really want to squeeze. low pocket pairs or like random hands when there's a recreational in the pot, if he understands that. So I think his range is gonna be more stronger naturally. That's why I don't want to 4-bet as much. Could be wrong though. That's how I would play the spot anyways. Like, because let's say you squeeze queen jack suited and he jams. What do? You know, I would always flat queen jack in his shoes on the button. Okay, we get a snap 3-bet here. Do I want to call again? Nah, this one I have suited. Does it matter though? Does it matter if I have suited or offsuit? It's pretty much the same hand class against a tighter range, so it makes me want to call way more, to be honest. Starting with a bet here. 8-6-9. I'm gonna start with a small c bet. Range check the turn. Probably the best. He's gonna have way more tens in his range. I'm never gonna 4-bet tens in these spots. He might have some jack 10, right? I'm never gonna do that with. I'm never gonna 4-bet that hand class. And I'm just gonna be jamming here on the river. Hope he calls pocket jacks, pocket queens. Wow, this is crazy. Don't think I'm folding, but let me just see how many tables this guy plays. One tabler. So he can have like ace queen and stuff, but I don't think I'm folding ever. Yeah. Nice one. So you want to note that lead, jam, merged, 0.5 SPR river. For stacks, P50, close to be honest. Gonna be folding. Similar to that ace deuce hand where, yes, we have showdown value, but we don't have anything to do on the turn. And actually, this spot isn't that similar because in this spot we have so many offsuit gutshots to continue instead. So we prefer to call those hands over these hands. What happened in the ace king hand? Oh yeah, he folded. Okay. He's gonna be pretty capped in that spot, but nothing we can do on the river, to be honest. We can go for small bet, hope he calls queens, hope he calls jacks. We want to maximize every time when he does have those jacks or queens. Okay, bro. Nice snap call. All right, so what do you have? King high. Interesting one here. Check. Flop turn went check. No, turn he bet. Oh, I forgot the action already. And I'm gonna be folding the river. Just because he snap called the flop. If he has jack 9 off with a heart, he's not gonna snap call. So he gave me free information to make my fold easier on the river. How long are we recording? 34 minutes. Yeah, we can wrap it up in like 5 more minutes or so. This is never a 4-bet, so I'm gonna fold. 6-5, I'm gonna be opening 2 recreations on the table. We get nothing in the golden table this time. This guy's a fish, short stacker. Can we call this hand? This guy should be like, the reg should be squeezing. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to call. Could be a spot where you could call any two, but you have to pay attention about the big blind. Like he's gonna know that the recreational has 100% of his range. So, and then if I flat, I have like all the junk in my range. He can jam profitably any two, to be honest. Okay, opening here. Folds. Let's sit out. Global sit out next big blind. Yeah. We want a stack and a half. Not bad. Ace king hand. Oh wait, 14 VPIP. I think I want to call this spot. We're in a sandwich against the reg, but yeah, again, pretty much the same story. It's tight ranges. You don't want to attack tight ranges. This is the key to the win rate in these games. You just want to play as passive as you can against tight ranges and attack wide ranges. That's pretty much it. We could even actually fold this flop, to be honest, without a diamond, because even hands like 8s and 9s without the diamond are better calls here. This is really, really close. Only reason I'm gonna call is maybe he gives me free information that I can bluff on 4 diamonds. That's the only reason I call. Otherwise, I would always fold. Okay, snap checks back. Snap check back. What's the best play here? I don't think this is overpair that much. So I'm gonna go for a block. Hope he has ace 10 suited. Once in a blue moon or ace king. Wow, I did not expect that. Let's know that. Please 8-8 button versus ETG. I did not expect that. Yeah, usually you just want to be tight against tight ranges. That's why I wanted to call even ace king suited. I know it sounds crazy, but UTP versus hijack versus a guy that I have tagged as a fish. You know, only reason you want to 4-bet those hands is to deny equity or get value against his ace jacks, ace tens, whatever. And if he won't have those hands in his range, then there's no point in 4-betting, to be honest. You're just like 4-bet folding at best. All right, that was it for this session. As I said, I haven't uploaded in a while. I hope you guys liked it. We won, yeah, stack and a half, something like that, maybe more. Yeah, hopefully I get more motivation to make more videos. As I said, I don't know about the YouTube thing, taking down poker content creators' videos. I hope they don't take this one down when I upload it. But yeah, stay tuned, follow me, like and subscribe, and see ya in the next video.